Hey guys, welcome back to my channel. I've been hosting some expert makeup classes here and you guys seem to be loving all the beauty info. So continuing on this series today, I have a simple eyebrow routine for you guys that anyone can follow. Whether you're a makeup guru or a newbie, you can benefit from knowing everything that I'm going to tell you today. As I always say, before beginning any makeup routine, you need to have your skincare in order. You can only achieve a beautiful makeup look if your skin feels and looks healthy. In order to make sure that my skin is ready for the glam, I like to use a few products to make sure it's prepped perfectly. After cleansing and toning my skin, I like to use the Derma Snail Peptide 96 Hydrating Serum with snail mucin and peptide complex. This K-Beauty's coveted ingredient deeply moisturizes your skin for up to 24 hours and gives it that sought after glow. Formulated with 96% pure snail secretion filtrate, this glow potion hydrates and nourishes the skin while fading blemishes and fine lines. Powered with peptides, it also accelerates skin regeneration and boosts collagen, while niacinamide in this super serum reduces acne scars. The result, you ask? A healthy skin that looks radiant and youthful and feels supple. You'd be delighted to know no snails were harmed in the making of this serum. This serum has a slightly slimy texture. You can see it totally gives me that glass skin effect but doesn't make my skin feel greasy or heavy. I love to use it on an everyday basis, but especially under makeup because it provides 24-hour moisturization, which means that my makeup never gets cakey when I prep my skin with this serum. On top, I add the Derma oil-free daily face moisturizer to seal it all in place. All Derma products are cruelty-free and fragrance-free with power-packed ingredients that truly transform your skin. You can score this and other fantastic skincare items from the Derma website at a 20% discount using my code Aishwarya 2024. Derma is also making a difference in the scientific community with their Young Scientists initiative. Each time you place an order on their website, they link your order to a child that they help educate along with Bhumi Foundation. The links to purchase this product are going to be in the description box below. So now that we're ready and our skincare is in place, let's move on to the eyebrow tutorial. Okay, so I like to do my eyebrows in two different ways. One for like an everyday, easy, quick kind of look, and the other one for like a really strong, long stay, whether you have a party or an event, or if you know you're gonna have a sweaty day, that kind of brow, that stays in place all day. So I'm gonna teach you both the techniques today. So right now I have the rest of my face done. Just a very light kind of look, only a little bit of mascara, lipstick, a very light base. This is like my everyday makeup look, and I like to do my brows after I've done my base because then I don't have to be careful with my foundation and concealer application. Once all of that is done, I can move on to my brows. And even bronzer, because I know I'm not going to be moving my brows. I'm not going to be swirling a brush on my face and it's not going to move my brows. So I also do my brows after I've done my base and bronzer. So after you've done your base, sometimes you may find that there is some product in your eyebrows, like some powder, some foundation may have gotten stuck there. So the first thing you want to do is take a spoolie and make sure your brow is clean. Just brush off any excess product that may have gone onto your eyebrow and make sure the brow is clean. So the first trick is actually super simple. I like to use an eyebrow pencil on an everyday basis. It makes it very easy to do your eyebrows super quickly in just a minute. So I'm gonna follow the natural shape of my brow. I'm gonna start filling in where my brow starts and just follow the natural shape. We all have different brows. Both your brows are going to be slightly different from each other. And this is my good brow, my right brow. This is my not so good brow, but you just follow the natural shape. That's what you gotta do. And I also like to look down when I'm doing my brows and then look straight and then look on the side. So you want to check it from all angles. So I'm just gonna continue filling this brow. And I'm not going too far up. I'm staying in the natural thickness of my brow. You can easily make it look super thick if you want that. But I personally like to have slightly thinner, medium kind of sized brows. I don't really love extremely bushy brows on me. I find it looks a little masculine when your brows are extremely full and bushy. Kind of medium sized brow looks a little bit more feminine and also looks a little bit more expressive because eyebrows are where most of your expressions come from. So you see, that was super quick. All you gotta do is follow the natural shape of your brow and you can keep twisting an angled pencil. It's very easy to fill in with this. And I also like to extend the tail a little bit, just so my brow looks a little longer. You can also change the angle of the tail of your brow in case you want a more lifted look. Don't pull the tail too far down. You can keep it in an upward direction to give yourself a more lifted appearance. It's a great anti-aging hack actually. But I love the shape of an arched brow. So I'm just gonna fill all of this in. And notice that I'm not touching the front part of my eyebrow yet. I want to complete the rest of the brow before I move on to the front bits. And the front bit is actually very important because you don't want to make your eyebrows come too far in. That can also give an angry kind of expression. So you want to make sure you carefully style the front of the brow so it looks natural and gradual. And also, eyebrows play a very important role in how thin your nose looks. So the further in you bring your eyebrows, the thinner your nose is gonna look. So that's why I do like to come a little bit further in than my natural shape, but also not too far in because you don't want to give yourself a unibrow. Okay, so now coming to the front bits, I'm gonna hold the pencil from its further end because I don't want to apply too much pressure. When you hold products like this close to the nib, there is a lot of pressure involved. So if you want to have a light hand, always hold the product from the middle or from the end. So I'm gonna hold it somewhere in the middle so I don't have a lot of pressure. And then I'm just gonna start fading out the brow in the inner corner. Very light, gentle stroke so it looks like it's starting gradually. And then I just like to wipe it with my finger to make sure it looks nice and clean. And that is my everyday brow. Super quick and super easy. Takes me like 1 minute to do both of my eyebrows. It's about practice. Once you're used to filling in your eyebrows, it's gonna be second nature to you. It comes so easily and so fast. If you want a nice, natural, everyday, easy kind of look, this is perfect. Now you can also make this last a little bit longer. Use an eyebrow gel on top of this and it should seal the pencil. But if you have an event, honey, I have a great hack for you. A way to make your eyebrows last all night. They're not gonna move. They're not gonna budge. I have done this millions of times, especially on days and nights when you want your makeup to last forever. What you wanna do is take an eyebrow pomade. Now pomades are extremely pigmented. They will not go anywhere. They will literally stick in place in your eyebrow and not leave your side. So I'm gonna take a thin kind of angled brush and pick up a pomade. I also really like pomades when they've slightly dried out a little bit because when they're new and fresh, they are so soft and easy to use and they're super pigmented. So you gotta be very careful. But this one is a little drier, which I personally prefer a slightly drier consistency on pomades. So I'm gonna take that on a thin angled brush and just start tracing the brow. Now I'm not going to be very precise with it. Make sure you stay within the lines though, but I'm not shaping my brow perfectly with this because this is gonna be like my base to make sure that the product that I'm gonna apply next really grabs on and holds on. So I'm just gonna trace along the brow, just shaping it, giving it a rough shape. Okay, that's it. I don't want to go too far with this because then it's very difficult to take off, but it's super easy to apply more if you need to. I'm gonna go back to my spoolie and just brush everything, making sure there are no clumps and lumps because that can really happen with a pomade. Be very careful with this because you don't want to spread it anywhere. Now I'm going to use another angle brush. This is slightly thicker than the previous one. You could totally use the same angle brush for this. Just clean it on a tissue or something. You don't have to be so fussy. But I find that powder application is easier to do with a slightly thicker angle brush. Which brings us to our eyebrow powder. So you usually get a bunch of shades to choose from. And the shade that you want to use in your eyebrows is around the shade of your root. So your eyebrow color should match the root of your hair. But if you have extremely dark black hair, you can still get away with using a dark brown eyebrow pencil because I feel like a black eyebrow pencil just looks too stark and way too much. So even if you have black hair, I would recommend you go for a dark brown kind of eyebrow pencil, but usually it's a good rule of thumb to match your eyebrows to your roots. So obviously I'm not going to touch the black powder too much. I'm just going to stay in the dark brown kind of zone, maybe even a little bit of the lighter brown. Make sure you dust off the excess because all of this, if you don't dust this off, it is going to fall on your face, which if you've already done your base, that is a nightmare. Okay, now with this powder, I'm gonna seal all of this cream, the pomade that was a creamy base. and the powder is gonna stick and hold on to the pomade, and that is gonna give you the most long-lasting brow ever. Trust me, there is no going back. Once you have this trick, you are gonna love this. So now with the powder, I'm gonna start shaping the brow. And you want to closely look at the other brow, make sure you're following the same shape and making them uniform. So it's good to have a close-up mirror to look into, but also a mirror further away from you, because when you are looking at yourself so close up, it's easy to get involved in one area and forget the picture as a whole. So I always like to do my makeup with a mirror close by and a mirror slightly, like at least 2 feet away from me, so I can look and see how everything is looking cohesively with each other. So it's important to look at both of your brows, especially when you're doing the second brow. You want to make sure that it looks uniform. It's like doing a winged liner, you know. But don't fuss about them looking absolutely perfect, because you know, both of your brows are going to be slightly different from each other. Now that the body of the brow is done, you want to come to the front of the brow. And when you're doing your front part of the brow, you never want to pick up the darker shade of the powder, because then it's going to become very difficult to fade them out and make it look like an ombre kind of effect. So I'm going to pick up the lighter shade of the powder and start fading out the middle of the brow, again holding the brush from its further end and just applying the lightest pressure. Okay, now if there's been any mistakes, or if you feel like some strokes have gone here and there and you want to clean them up, you can take a little bit of concealer, just a very small amount of concealer, or maybe even a full coverage powder. Let's take a powder, that is easier. So I'm going to take a powder on a little small angled brush. Any brush will do, any eyeshadow brush will also be good for this. And I'm just going to clean the edges, just to make sure everything looks super sharp. Okay, and then you can go ahead and of course apply your highlight under your eyebrow, which I've already done just a little bit, even a little bit right in the center above your eyebrow. I think that looks pretty when you see from the side. Okay, now we're almost done. The only thing that's left to do is to seal everything in place with an eyebrow gel. Sometimes I will do an eyebrow gel with my pencil as well. I don't do it every day, but sometimes I will, because sealing it with an eyebrow gel just makes sure that my eyebrow is not gonna rub off if I move my hair out of my face or lie on a pillow or something. It's not just gonna, you know, transfer onto something. So it's good to use an eyebrow gel anyway. So I'm just gonna lightly run it through both of my brows. I don't like to apply a lot of product, just to make sure that the hairs are gonna stay in place and not move. Okay, and that is it, you guys. I hope you found this video helpful and learned something new. If you did enjoy it, please don't forget to give me a thumbs up. Your feedback means the most to me. And let me know what other topics you want me to cover. I've done this kind of detailed video about lashes. So if you want to know how I do my lashes, these are my natural lashes, no lash extensions. So if you want to know how to get the best lashes from your mascara, please check out my other video as well. And I've also done a video on how to make your lips look fuller and how to line your lips perfectly. All of those detailed makeup videos are going to be linked down below for you guys. Do check out the Derma Co products. Thank you so much for watching. I'm going to see you super soon in my next one. Mwah. Bye!